Unit 2, Basics of Real Estate Law. So the key points in here, you definitely want to know the different ways people have ownership. You will come across that. I mean, 90% of the time you're going to deal with a one owner person that, bought the house, owns the house, or a husband and wife type deal. But there are situations where someone is deceased and it's inherited, and there's different ways that they can have that. Even when it comes to companies, like there are some individuals that will buy using an LLC or an LTD, limited partnership, or limited liability corporation. So there's all kinds of different ways that people will invest or purchase real estate out there. So it is important to understand the different ways that ownership can be had, and the way to what it takes to sell or what it takes for them to buy. It may have to go to a board, or it may have to go to a committee. There's just a number of things, but I would say 90% of the time you're dealing with individuals, and there's nothing fancy. There's nothing. It's just client A wants to sell to client B, and that's it. So that's important to get to understand. You need to know what the rights are. So the main thing that you'll deal with, depending on what market you're in, I'm just going to be specific around East Texas. Mineral rights, those are the things that we deal with. Most people that own land at this point in time, very seldom do you find somebody that does own the minerals, but they are out there. So a lot of times there are people that come in, they come from out of state, come from out of town, and they want to buy land, and that's the first thing they ask is, will I get the mineral rights? Well, 90% of the time they don't. The seller doesn't have any, but if they do, those are things that are negotiated. Surface rights, we don't run across too much. It depends on what part of East Texas you're in. If there's a bunch of oil pad sites and things of that nature, then you might encounter some stuff like that. Water rights are not something that we typically deal with too much around here. We don't have that kind of issue, but there are parts of the state where water is a big factor. So it is important to understand what the rights are when it comes to that kind of stuff. We talked about the different ways corporations can own things, but it is important to that. Condominiums, cooperative, townhouses you'll deal with. We don't have too many condominiums around here in this particular area, timeshares, anything like that. But it's important, depending on what market you're in, to understand those things. And then just make sure that whatever the laws are that affect real estate, you need to be up to date with them. They don't change too often, and typically the Texas Real Estate Commission, they'll keep you informed as to what's going on. So that's Unit 2. Good luck, and I'll see you Unit 3.